Hi, welcome to another Woohoo Wednesday. I'm Little Woo, and I'm here to address another life question I received. This week's question is how to have compassion for someone who is lying to you. That is definitely something that I have had to do a lot of work around, is how to first face the fact that someone is not telling you the truth. And I think the shift in perspective, because that's kind of a lot what we're talking about this week, is how to change your perception or perspective. So how do you change perception of the person who's lying to you instead of just reacting with doubt, self-doubt? Because then first thing is often we doubt ourselves when we think, oh, no, I can't believe I just thought that. But your intuition or your gut, or maybe you actually have some facts that make you aware that this person is not telling you the truth. Your first reaction could be self-doubt. Your second reaction could be anger. Denial is often part of that whole process of not being able to face the truth that they're lying to you. So those are all the things that you're going through. But once you come to terms with the fact that they actually aren't telling you the truth, how do you have more compassion for them? So for me, over the years, I've learned to go deeper and to understand why people lie. Looking back at phases of my life, when I've lied the most was when I was a lot younger as a teenager, and I felt like I had no freedom, and so I'd had to lie to even have the slightest amount of joy or freedom. If you find that lying is a huge pattern, or in someone that you're working with or someone in your relationship with, then you have to go deeper to understand why they're lying. And part of that's often that they're afraid to face the truth. They're afraid to deal with something. So it's fear. They're not trying to hurt you. They're not purposely wanting to lie. Nobody in the end loves the feeling. It becomes a compulsion as a survival mechanism. So when they start to lie habitually to live life, it's because they haven't found a way to actually live life authentically. Because what they authentically want to do, maybe they haven't faced, they don't really understand why they want that thing, or if they understand it, they feel ashamed of it. So these are all things that happen. So if we have more compassion for someone who's lying, we have to understand that there is either fear, that is why they're lying, they're really afraid, or they have a worldview that says that this is a shitty world and it's dog eat dog, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to survive a shitty world. So people who are very aggressive with their deception, with their lies, who have no qualms about lying, that's because they have a worldview that has been set at an early time in their life where they feel like that there's no value in truth and integrity. They haven't seen enough integrity to make it valuable for them, and so they feel like it's just a, like I said, dog eat dog world. And when you're in that kind of world, you'll do anything to survive. And that explains a lot of very aggressive practices that some people have. We're all very deeply wounded at some point where they saw that they didn't seem to see any value in human life. They didn't see integrity. They didn't see love. If you haven't been given all those things, then they don't exist. And everything that's kind and loving just flies by you. You don't see it. And it's a very interesting phenomenon where we tend to see the things that we expect to see. If you have more compassion, then you're never going to be just faced with constant deception, because you're going to start going deeper and recognizing how you also facilitate some of that in your own way. Maybe you might be intimidating, or people think that you're going to judge them. So if you work on that, if you work on creating safe spaces, then people will be less likely to lie to you. So there's a lot of give and take in that process. And then there's people who are just terrified, and or that have that terrible worldview, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you just have to be aware that this person is wounded and that they're not going to be able to speak to you in the way that you like. And you have to kind of make an adjustment to that. You might not be able to be business partners with them. You might not be romantic partners with them. You may not be able to do certain things with them if your value set includes honesty and clear communication. So that's a little glimpse into how we can have more compassion when someone is lying to us. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.